These are important conversations to be having with your A players because in a team setting, you'll find them participating more and contributing ideas more as a team and developing. It also creates that opportunity for you to develop that leadership team who takes responsibility off of you, the business owner. And you'll see your leadership team getting better at making decisions and being able to suggest ideas that actually align with your vision for the business. You work hard in your business. On the Profit by Design podcast, we ask the big question: what has your business done for you lately? Hi, I'm Dr. Sabrina Starling, the business psychologist, the author of How to Hire the Best, and your co-host on the Profit by Design podcast. Weekly, my co-host, Mike Bruno, and I bring you tips, tools, and strategies from our own experiences and from the experiences of our guests, who are entrepreneurial thought leaders and real-life entrepreneurs, all to support you in making intentionally profitable and sustainable business decisions to live the lifestyle you desire. Welcome back. We are here to talk yet again about making your time worth $10,000 an hour. This is part 3 of 3 in our 3-part series here on the podcast. In the last 2 episodes, episodes 126 and 127, I shared with you how to avoid the most common and costly missteps when working on your business, and the secret to multiplying your profit by 100 to 900% in less than 12 months' time while you're freeing up your time. And I really think the greatest value from the $10,000 an hour activities is the way in which it impacts our quality of life. That's the part that I get so excited about. If you have not downloaded our chart of $10,000 an hour activities and the workbook that accompanies this series on the podcast, be sure to do that now. Hop on over to tapthepotential.com/10K. That's tapthepotential.com/10K. And I want to let you know, so you're not missing out on any fun, if you haven't already done so, we have a Facebook community called Entrepreneurs Take Your Life Back. This community is sponsored by Tap the Potential, and we are giving you an experience of what it is like to be in our Better Business, Better Life program at Tap the Potential. And very soon, we will be doing the Better Business, Better Life Jumpstart, which builds on what I've been teaching here on the podcast with respect to how to make your time worth $10,000 an hour. If you have not joined our Facebook community yet, you're definitely going to want to do that. Go to tapthepotential.com/10K. When you download the chart of $10,000 an hour activities, you will be taken to an invite to join our Entrepreneurs Take Your Life Back Facebook community. We're having a lot of great discussion over there. There's going to be a lot of fun coming your way. I'm going to be doing a lot of educating, and we're going to have contests and prizes, and everything is done in the spirit of helping you to have a better business and a better life. And we're giving you an inside peek into some of the foundational pieces that we teach in our bigger, Better Business, Better Life program at Tap the Potential. So when it comes to making your time worth $10,000 an hour, one of the things to help you filter out what you're paying attention to in the business and how you're spending your time is, does this activity align with my vision? Is it directly moving me towards my vision, or is it sort of going in the direction of my vision, but maybe if I chart it out over time, it's taking me a little bit off track? So I think many of you have heard me speak about the survival trap before. In your workbook on the last page, we have an image of that survival trap there. And the reason it's the survival trap is there's a lot of things that we can do in our businesses to get through the day or get through the week or get to the next paycheck even and survive. But if we are just doing those activities, we are not moving our business business in a better direction. We are not building a business that is going to be more profitable or give us a higher quality of life, or both. So previously on the podcast, I've gone through the strategic planning series. And if you have missed that, I really encourage you to check that episode or that series of episodes out. You can access that at tapthepotential.com/plan. It is very important for you as an entrepreneur to have a clear vision of where you are taking your business. And at Tap the Potential, one of the things that's unique about us is we help you build a business plan that supports your life vision. So we start with helping our clients get very clear about the quality of life you want to have and what you want to be experiencing, and then designing the business to support that. So as I've gone through the different parts of the Tap the Potential solution with you here on the podcast, those are the pieces that move your business towards that business that's more profitable, that gives you more money in your bank account than you've ever had before, and allows you a higher quality of life. So when you're making choices that align directly with your vision, chances are you're engaging in $10,000 an hour activities. And today I want to focus on getting your team, not just yourself, but really getting your entire team moving towards making their use of their time worth $10,000 an hour. And this is where the $10,000 an hour mindset becomes extremely valuable. Once you start operating in this way yourself, then you can also get your team members supporting you in this thinking. And what this looks like is having your team understanding and being aware of what the business sweet spot is, and understanding how their role contributes directly to supporting the sweet spot of the business, and your team members being crystal clear on what their most valuable contribution is towards the sweet spot of the business. So at the beginning of this series, I shared with you the focusing questions to help you really think about today, if I can get nothing else done, what is the most valuable use of my time? What can I be doing that will move the business forward and make things better? We want to use a similar variation of that question with your team members. And that is, if you can't get anything else done in a given day or a given week, what is the most important result that I need from you? That is the question that you're asking of your team members as you're thinking about their role. And you want each role in the business to serve the sweet spot. So you want to be able to identify from the perspective of each role what that role's contribution is to the sweet spot. And you also want to be able to identify, how does the person in this role make us money or save us money? Those are some very important clarifying questions. And when you read How to Hire the Best, you'll notice when I tell you before you hire, those are the questions you want to ask yourself for each role that you'll be hiring for. In what ways does this role serve the sweet spot of the business? And how does the person in this role make us money or save us money? With that clarity, you then want to hire a team member who has the strengths needed to deliver those results exceptionally well, day in and day out. This is where your team members become extraordinarily valuable to the business, when they are working from their personal strengths and they know what their most important result is that they are delivering in a given day or a given week. If they can't get anything else done, what is the most important thing that they can do for the business? Now, a couple of things I want to say about this is that you've probably heard me mention that A players are 900 to 1200% more productive than warm bodies. That holds true only if you're hiring A players who are a good fit with your core values or immutable laws in the business, and you put them in roles where they're working from their strengths, and those roles have clearly defined results that pertain to the sweet spot and pertain to profitability for the business. That's what needs to happen to achieve that 900 to 1200% increase in productivity from an A player versus a team member who might be more of a C player or a D player. And now the thing that you want to be really aware of with the A players on your team is educating them about the importance of working from their strengths. A players are highly resourceful and they're get-her-done people, and they will try to pick up the slack all over the place on the team, which on one level sounds like, hey, that's great. I can have a lean and mighty team, which is what Dr. Sabrina teaches me. I should have a lean and mighty team. And so my A players should be picking up the slack so we don't have to have as many team members on the team. Yes and no. If you have A players who are doing things outside of their strengths, if they're working from what we call their Achilles heel, then that creates drag for them and on the team over time. And this is where you will see your A players starting to get burnt out. You will see a decrease in their energy and their enthusiasm, and it just starts to creep in gradually over time. So you want to really be aware of this. And it's very important to start having those conversations with your A players around what excites you about the work that you're doing here. What gives you energy? What do you want to do more of? And what work are you doing where you just lose yourself and lose your sense of time because it's so engaging for you? Those are things that point to a person's strengths. The things that we procrastinate on, the things that we are slow to get done, the things that we miss deadlines on are areas that are our Achilles heel. They are not our strengths. In our society, we are really raised, and there's so much in our culture that tells us we should just be working to improve our weaknesses. If we could just improve our weaknesses, we would be better. And I want to share an example with you of just how wrong this kind of thinking is and how ineffective it is for us as entrepreneurs and for those on our team. So when I was in high school, I really struggled through chemistry and physics. I did extra work. I had a tutor. I put in extra hours. I would meet with the teacher after class to try to get help. And I would make a little bit of improvement. I actually went from a D to a C in the courses, but I never really got where I excelled. And even though I passed, I think I ended the year in both of those classes with a strong C plus B minus. For the amount of effort that I put in, I didn't see much result. And luckily for me, before I tell you this next part, I need to also let you know that that was really starting to affect my self-perception. I started to see myself as a very poor student. Luckily for me, I had the opportunity that summer to take a college course, and I decided to sign up for Intro to Psychology. I was fascinated with psychology, and I couldn't wait to get started. I will tell you a secret. I read the entire textbook before the course even started. That's how much I was geeking out over psychology. So as the course started, I aced my exams. I loved studying. I was the one who did all the bonus work and whatever I could get my hands on in relation to psychology. I was just eating it up because I've always been so curious about us human beings and how we work and what makes us tick. I made all A's in that course. It came easy to me. I did put in a lot of effort, but all of that effort felt fun. That was a very different experience for me than chemistry and physics. And I'm so fortunate that I had that contrasting experience. Number one, it really boosted my confidence again as a student. I came to see myself as a very good student, whereas previously, a few months before, I had really started getting down on myself and wondering why I was even going to college. I was afraid I was going to flunk out in my first semester. Well, making all A's in that Intro to Psychology course showed me not only am I a good student, but that it's really important that going forward forward, I look for opportunities to really do what I enjoy and let go of the things that don't come easy to me. Now, I would love to tell you that I totally resolved that for myself at that point in my life, but I did not. I faced similar issues when I was in graduate school and early in my career, always feeling like, boy, this, trying an area that was harder for me where I saw other people really being excited about it. And for myself feeling like, yeah, I don't really enjoy this that much, but everyone else is doing it. So maybe I should be going in this direction too. Or everybody else is deciding they want to study this and feeling like I needed to do it too. It's not been until the last, I would say, decade of my life that I have really embraced the value of us working from our strengths. So much so that at Tap the Potential, we have one of our immutable laws, which is be a gift from our gifts. And that means on our team, we are always striving to support one another in working more and more from our individual strengths and looking out for each other in ways to reduce drag for ourselves on the team. I have a story that came to me just the other day. One of our team members shared that she was feeling like she was a bottleneck with a particular project that wasn't moving forward. And another member of our team who is learning delegation and struggles with it himself said to her, hey, maybe you could delegate that to somebody else on our team, and identified the person that he thought would be just right to do it. Sure enough, she delegated it. The task got done. It got done well, and everything kept moving forward. But that's what it means to look out for one another on a team and notice when something is not a strength or an area where we're just so busy that we're getting bogged down and we're bottlenecking parts of the business, and looking for what can be delegated to someone else who can do it better than we can do it. So when we start talking about making our team's time worth $10,000 an hour, it is creating an environment, a culture in our businesses where it is okay and celebrated to let go of tasks. A players by nature are very reluctant to do this. We really feel like we should be doing everything, and we're competent. We can do a lot of things well, and we can only do a few things exceptionally well. But because we can do a lot of things well, we feel bad, we feel guilty about saying, I don't want to do this thing, or I don't like this thing. So let your team know. You have to have a lot of repeated conversations that it is okay to say, I don't like doing this, I don't want to do this. Now, it doesn't mean that as a team member, you get to drop the ball and just say, I'm not doing it, because somebody's got to do it. The part that's so valuable here is when the whole team understands the value of working from strengths. The whole team can support and look for others on the team who can pick up the slack, who can do that thing that one team member does not enjoy doing. And that one team member sometimes may not be able to identify the person on the team who's the right person to pick it up, but that team member can bring it back to the team and say, I'm struggling with this. Is there anybody on this team? Are you aware of anybody else on the team who has a strength in this area who could support me in this way? Those are very important conversations to be having in your team meetings, your team huddles, in one-to-ones with your team members, asking them specifically, what opportunities have you had this week to work from your strengths? That one question in a one-to-one with a team member can be very eye-opening. If your team member says, wow, I don't know that I've worked from my strengths at all this week, that is a big red flag, because it indicates that down the road, you're going to be seeing problems with engagement from that team member. You might consider sharing the chart of $10,000 an hour activities with your team members and think about their opportunities for advancement. So if you have team members who are coming in at an entry-level role, looking for ways to move them up in the business. So sometimes you will have an A player who's been with you for a year or 2 years, and they're extremely competent in what they're doing, and they're ready to move up and take on more responsibility. So look at what they're currently doing and look at the different parts of their job and which pieces of what they're doing are not the highest and best use of their time based on their current abilities and what they've learned while they've been with you in the business. And seek to sweep those responsibilities off their plate and move those responsibilities over to someone who is coming in at an entry level. What we see in small business when it comes to hiring is it's harder to hire for higher level roles, but if you can continue to move your entry level team members up and getting them focused on higher value activities and working from their strengths, you will have them, you're creating opportunities for advancement for them. They're adding more value to the business and what they're contributing, and you're creating opportunities for new people, new A players to come into the business. Now, another thing that is so valuable about educating your team members about highest and best use of their time is sharing with them the 80-20 principle when it comes to time management. Talking with them about the sweet spot of the business and who are our top clients and what is it that we can do better in our business than our competitors can. How are we unique in our top clients' eyes? What is our area of innovation? These are important conversations to be having with your A players, because in a team setting, you'll find them participating more and contributing ideas more as a team and developing. It also creates that opportunity for you to develop that leadership team who takes responsibility off of you, the business owner. And you'll see your leadership team getting better at making decisions and being able to suggest ideas that actually align with your vision for the business. That's another reason it's so important to have a clearly articulated vision, because when you share that vision with your A player team members, they will spot opportunities to help move you and the business forward towards that vision. So you can share with them the survival trap, and you can teach them about making decisions that move us directly in alignment with the vision and spotting those opportunities. And I want to share something with you. We teach Leadership Boot Camp, which is designed for the A players in our clients' businesses. So our clients who are with us in the Better Business, Better Life program often put their A players, their high potential team members, into Leadership Boot Camp. In Leadership Boot Camp, we teach your team members about the business sweet spot and the 80-20 principle with respect to time management. We use the people map, and we teach them how to identify their strengths and understand that others on the team have differing strengths, and we want to learn how to tap into one another's strengths. So those are all big conversations that I have with team members in Leadership Boot Camp. Well, this past round of Leadership Boot Camp, we had one team member come forward and share one way that, now that he understood the business sweet spot and how the business was unique, how he was able to make a contribution from his gifts. And one of the things that he did is he got a list of the vendors that they were using the most, and he contacted those vendors and negotiated better terms for the business with those vendors. Talk about a $10,000 an hour value in the activity that he did. Because he was aware of the sweet spot, because he had a better understanding of the importance of profit in the business, which had all been taught to him in Leadership Boot Camp, he spotted an opportunity on his own to save the company thousands and thousands of dollars, not just this year, but in years ahead, because he turned this into a system in the business. So these are examples of how to get your team working at the $10,000 an hour level. So it's not just you, the business owner. It really comes from having these conversations with team members. So this brings us to the end of the How to Make Your Time Worth $10,000 an Hour series here on the podcast. It is my highest intention for you that this opens your eyes to being more intentional about the time you spend working on your business. And I want to conclude by offering you a resource. The fastest way to figure out where the most valuable use of your time is in the business right now to increase your quality of life and improve the profitability of your business is to take our assessment at tapthepotential.com/assessment. When you take that assessment, you will get feedback about the systems that you have in place in your business that are strong and the systems that need your attention. And you'll also have the opportunity to meet with a member of our team to debrief your assessment and help you make sense of which systems to start with. And if you're interested in joining our Better Business, Better Life program, you will also have that opportunity from that conversation. So if you're ready to make the most valuable use of your time and set your business up so that you have more money in your bank account than ever and more time for what matters most to you, your first step is to take our assessment at tapthepotential.com/assessment. Bye for now. Thank you for spending time with us today. Join our conversation in the Profit by Design podcast Facebook group. Share your thoughts on today's episode, ask us questions, and let us know what you want to hear about next. Visit our website at profitbydesignpodcast.com to access resources from our sponsors and tools we've created for you. Subscribe to the show on whatever platform you're listening to right now. There's a subscribe button right there. Go ahead and hit it so that you always get a notification when we release a new episode. And finally, share our podcast with a friend if you know a friend who would enjoy it. Thanks again for listening. This is real life business. Keep your chin up, keep moving forward. You got this.